Okay, guys. I posted a 30-minute long video on YouTube talking about improvements for Surface 1 to Surface 2. And a lot of the video is spent on hardware improvements. I only spent 25 seconds, and I say basically software is okay. And I post on the subreddit, and oh man, I get a lot of haters saying, "Oh, the software is really bad. Why don't you talk about your software?" Yay. So okay, I'll talk about the software. I'll post this on Reddit again. There's literally 25 issues that I've actually found the last 2.5 months of issues, features. I don't know. You could be a bug or it could be a feature to some people. So I'm pretty sure I'll get some haters saying, "Oh, it's not a bug, it's a feature." Yeah. So the first thing, I'm not going to repeat these things here because it's not so easy to find them. So sometimes I find them, sometimes I don't, right? So I can't repeat these things like on demand, right? So don't I'm not going to say, "Oh, you didn't find these bugs because I don't see it in your videos." Shit, yeah, I did find it, dumbass. So the first thing a lot of people have is that you've seen this. I've seen this maybe once or twice, but your screen will turn black in this mode. The screen will turn black, and for some reason it turns black. It thinks it's in phone mode, but it's in the book mode. And then normally, I remember I just close this up, open it up, do this, and it'll go back normal. That's the first issue I found. The third issue I found, which I actually videotape it, post on YouTube, is literally when I unlock it, I try to unlock it, my fingerprint sensor doesn't work. And I need to put the pin in there. And I put the pin in there, it's still not unlock. And you gotta basically hard power cycle by pressing this button for like 10 seconds. So that's number 2. The next one is very similar. Fingerprint doesn't work, the pin doesn't work, and the freaking touchscreen doesn't work. Power cycle again, that's like number 3. That happens to me several times, not very often. It happened to me when I'm actually using book mode more than my phone mode. The fourth issue was really when you're in phone mode, right? You rotate it, right? Double tap, right? Rotate it again, double tap. If you do it too fast, too slow, you don't get the double tap. And I think they've improved this quite a bit, but I noticed I had this initially, and it looked like they improved it. You can tell, but once it figured it out that you're rotating, it kind of works all the time. But sometimes, I think the first 2.5 months ago, I noticed this. That's the first thing I noticed. It's like, now it seems like it works a lot better, but that happens. Fifth issue is the gesture. I use gesture a lot, right? So it works. I think it's constantly improving, by the way. I would say it works 95% of the time, like almost 100% of the time, but sometimes it doesn't work, and you just gotta do it twice. And I'm so used to gesture because I used gesture when I was using my Samsung phone. And I tried to switch to the 3 buttons. The 3 button has some issues, which I'll talk later, but gesture, I'll say 95 to 100% of the time works. Sometimes it don't work. So, but I feel like the gesture sometimes has the same issue with a non-Surface Duo phone. So that's like number 5. And I've seen this where if you're in book mode, you switch to phone mode, sometimes both screens turns on. I've actually seen that recently where both screens will turn on, and you're like, and the biggest thing. Oh, I can see that. I see that my widget got moved here. But the biggest thing that you will notice is that you will know that if both screens are turned on or the double tap is on here, when you try to gesture here, you'll get something like this. That's like as soon as I see this, oh, that means I know the screen back here is on, the double tap back here is on, and I was like, and then I just kind of look back here, and then eventually I tap it again, and it works. So when you touch on this and you see that you're trying to change the wallpaper, you definitely know something is back here. The double tap's back here, the screen is on back here for some reason, right? So the other thing which happened to me the most is I use it in this mode. I carry it in this mode. I put it in my pocket. I'm walking, running. I take it out, and I think when I take it out, I accidentally rotate it. When I rotate it, right, and I unlock it, touch it, and then as soon as I touch it, I get this because the double tap is back here. When the double tap's back here and your fingers on it and you touch this, you get this home screen. You want to change your wallpaper. That very common to me. Maybe it's just the way I hold it, but when there's a double tap back here, your fingers back here while holding it like this, and you try and touch this, you get this, hey, you want to change your wallpaper thing. Very common for me because I constantly carry it like this, and when I get it out my pocket, I accidentally maybe rotate it, and it thinks I'm trying to rotate my screen, so it does that. That's the most common thing I get. Next thing, 3-button navigation. I switched to 3-button because I heard, oh, it's better than gesture, because like I say, gesture, I was like work 95 to 100% of the time, sometimes it doesn't. Big problem with that, I don't use many apps, right? But I do use Instagram. So if you use 3-button gesture, Instagram, these buttons right here at the bottom for Instagram, the 3-button navigation is right on top of it. So it cannot be used in Instagram, right? The next thing is WeChat. So if you ever chat with somebody in WeChat, right here, try type, look at that. You try type, but guess what? I can't see what I'm typing. Only way you can type in WeChat is by using book mode. So that, you know, I don't use many apps, so I'm pretty sure there's more bugs with different apps. Yeah, right. The WeChat one I use a lot, so that's annoying because I use that a lot to chat. Next thing is the battery, right? I kind of check out the battery a lot the last 2.5 months because I wanted to always figure out to extend my battery life. So that's why I kind of noticed this. So when you get to 100%, the first 100% to 98%, and the when it goes down, it only goes down every 2%. I rarely see it goes down 1% at a time. It's always 2%. The first 100% to 98%, the screen on time could be an hour to an hour and a half. After that, it goes down every 2%. And then the last 2%, if you ever have 2% on your phone, it will turn off at any time. So the battery indicator percentage is a little bit off. So that first, I don't know, it's a feature. I'm not complaining that I'm getting an hour to an hour and a half screen time on the first 2%, but it's a little bit off. The indicators is a little off to what the actual battery is. So not complaining, but that's what it is. It's definitely, I spent a lot of time looking at the battery life on this. The one thing I noticed is that it drains a lot faster when you have weaker Wi-Fi. So your access point is in one place and you're far away from it and you use a phone, it drains the battery life more. I definitely know that because I've done that in the morning when I'm in the bathroom, which is far away from access point, brushing my teeth, watching video, whatever. My battery life drains a lot faster. I can tell the first 2% makes sense, right? Next thing is notification, right? So you swipe it down here, you get notification, right? Sometime this notification is never Y, right? It never span across these two thing. I wish I have a pen here. I'll use a key. So normally this thing is on one screen only. I've actually seen when I'm actually doing in phone mode and for some reason I swipe this down, this notification box shift all the way over here, right? Over here or over here. I'm like, what? It thinks it's in widescreen mode, but it's not, it's in phone mode. And then I swipe it down again, it goes away. So it's weird. So it thinks somehow it's in notifications in widescreen mode. Maybe that was a feature and they disabled that because that was stupid. But it happens either here or here. So that happens. Not many times, but it happens. Next thing is YouTube. I love this widescreen. So you watch a video. This guy going to Mexico. So I'll watch a video. I'll minimize it, and you see it's here. I can push it here. Oh, right there. If I push it here, it's supposed to kind of stick here. If I move it up here, it's supposed to stick here or here. Sometimes it doesn't. So then you're like, what happened? Right? So it's supposed to be like this, right? And then you can wipe it off. Sometimes it literally, that notification, skip this ad, I hate this ad. So sometimes this box right here be literally half, and again it thinks it's in widescreen mode, but it's not. So then I'm like, what the hell is going on? So it seemed like the software in some cases thinks it's in widescreen, and so this thing is literally half which gets shown. So that happens. It's definitely sluggish. It's not buttery smooth, like somebody would say. Especially Outlooks. If I do Outlook, regular Outlook is fine. I have work profile. If I open work profile and do the Outlook here, my work is definitely slow. And I think the reason it's slow is because work profile, there's certification, there's a lot of security stuff. I'm guessing, is it the RAM or CPU that affects that? Or maybe the software. But open a work profile email Outlook is slower. I definitely know that. I'm not gonna open it right now because I'm on vacation, so I don't want my work email. Next thing is when you gesture up and you get all these apps, right? And you can dismiss it, or you can go dismiss, or you can I don't know, dismiss, whatever. You gotta go all the way down here to close all. I don't like that. That's kind of like, imagine I have a 50 app open, I gotta go all the way down there. But I'm not sure that's a feature that's in the regular Android phone. I haven't used Android phone in 2.5 months, so I don't go back and figure out, oh, that's the same thing or not. But that's annoying. I wish they can improve that. Next thing is I constantly use Bluetooth, especially when I'm walking. I walk every day, at least an hour, 2 hours. Podcasts, Pandora. My first 5-10 seconds connecting to Bluetooth and listening to a song when I leave the house, I'll switch to 4G. I always have static, a little bit of static, where it's like on and off, and it's not my Bluetooth headphone. I have a pretty good Bluetooth headphone, right? It's a good brand. It's $150 when I bought it. I use 3 phones: Pixel 2 XL, Samsung S20 FE, and this phone. Pixel XL always have that problem. As soon as I get out of the house, switch to 4G, turn on Bluetooth, play music, static the first 10 seconds, 5 seconds, I get static walking. The connection for Bluetooth on Pixel XL on this headphone or earbuds is not great. It seemed like it always happened in the first 5-10 seconds. Samsung S20 FE, no problem. Surface Dual, a little bit of a problem. Not as bad as Pixel 2, but not as good as Samsung FE. So there's some kind of Bluetooth connection thing. Maybe when I switch to Wi-Fi 4G, or when this, is trying to connect to Bluetooth, some power connection. I don't know, but the result is there's some static in the first 5 seconds. But it's a lot better than the Pixel. Is not as good as the Samsung FE in terms of Bluetooth connection. First, especially the first 5 seconds. It always happened to me. Camera. So the camera, shutter speed, low light sucks. We already know that. Sometime when I take video, and I'm always walking, taking videos or photos, I'm always listening to Pandora podcasts. Sometime when I try capture the video, it's shutter. It's kind of slow. It's just kind of like you can capture the video and actually watch the video while I'm capturing it, right, recording it. Sometimes it's just like the frame rate while I'm capturing video is like 1 or 2 frames per second. It's like slow. Eventually, within 5-10 seconds, it catch up, and it seemed like there's some issue with, in order to write to the NAND, which is a storage media in this phone, it has to go to the DRAM. And I think there's some issue with the allocating the DRAM space when it initially switched while it's actually doing something in the background like Pandora or something. So there's some issue there. So then it eventually catch up. It basically allows you, it basically catch up in terms that it actually can write so much megabytes into the NAND, in the storage. So eventually your frame per second, go to 30 frame or something. But I've seen that happens a couple of times already, many times I would say. Only when I capture the video, it seems to be slow sometimes. And I think there's something issue with the allocation of DRAM when it's initially capturing the video, because it has to go to the DRAM to write to the media, because I know how SSD works. Yep. And I've seen this happen where, happened this morning, where I was trying to capture video, press the record button, it actually was taking pictures instead of capturing video. And I was like, I did it 3 times, like, what the hell? It's not starting the video. Then I have to actually swipe it back to photo and swipe it to video, then I can capture it. Again, I'm not sure why I did that. So phone calls. Okay, so I get a phone call. It's telemarketing, so I dismissed it. But then this notification right here still get that. It say I have a phone call, and it's there. I'm trying to dismiss the damn thing, and it just stays there. I was like, for like a minute or two. I was like, what the hell is going on? I have to basically close it, open up, then eventually get dismissed, right? Then when you rotate this, slow. You can see right there. It seems slow to me, right? So again, I'm not benchmarking this, recording this amount of seconds, but you can see right here, it's slow. So compared to a Samsung S20, it's slow. So the rotation of it. So you see right there. So that's slow. Battery usage of apps. That's another thing that's annoying. I'm not sure if this is a feature or a. So if you go into battery usage, Pandora, for example, it's I use it 4 hours, 17 minutes. I don't think I use it 4 hours 50. Maybe I did. I'll say definitely 2.5 hours. The battery usage does not get reset when you charge. So if let's say I have 4 or 5%, 10% battery left when I charge it at 11 p.m. and I use, let's say, 4 hours of Pandora the previous day, I pick it up, I walk again, run again. This will say 8 hours because it doesn't get reset. I'm not sure if that's a feature of Android 10. Maybe it is. I didn't think about it in my Samsung when I used it, but that's annoying. And the reason why I care about this is just to understand the battery usage. I was trying to improve my battery life, so maybe that's a feature. Somebody will correct me and say that's a feature. So, or maybe that's a problem. I don't know. But that's literally knowing if you care about doing an experiment on how to improve your battery and figuring out which app. But it does not reset unless you power cycle. Unless you ran out of battery life, it powered down, then you charge it, then these things get reset. Another annoying thing about this is when you want to charge, plug it in, and normally, unless it's run out of charge and it's powered down, I will sometimes want to turn off the phone to charge it faster, right? But as soon as you plug this in, it seems to turn on the phone. I think so, because then when I press the power button, not to turn on the phone, but to get that little, normally when you have an Android phone, you turn off the phone, you press the power button, a little lightly, not turn it on, you get this little indicator how fully charged you are. Here, when I press the power button, lightly, either the phone's already turned on or you're turning on the phone. There's no, you cannot, unless somebody tell me there's a way to get around that. It seemed like when you turn off the phone, charge it. It seemed like when you press the button to see how much you charge, it's either phone's already on or is turning on when you press the button. There's no way to charge it with the phone off and pressing the button to show you how fully charged you are. Somehow it has to turn on the phone. I don't know why. And maybe there's a setting that to disable that. I don't know. Another thing is sometimes when I charge it, I feel hot. I think the CPU, I haven't studied this. I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube video somewhere that shows you where the CPU is. I think one part of the screen, one part of the panel has the CPU, the other don't. But I think the one that has the CPU is hot for some reason. It doesn't happen all the time. I don't notice it all the time, but sometimes I do notice it. And then, of course, I accidentally turn on the flashlight, which I don't accidentally turn because in order to turn on a flashlight, you gotta you gotta pull it down twice to get the flashlight. At least the way I said it. I don't think I accidentally did it. I'm guessing it's kind of slow and I got accidental touch or something, but I've seen that happen a couple times where all of a sudden this thing, this flashlight turned in my face. I'm like, dude, I did not intentionally turn it on. Maybe it's slow to react, accidentally touch, but it turns on. So another thing is that if you have an app on both screen, right, and you go here, FOMO, switch it back, you get the same app or not, right? And sometimes you don't, and most time you do. I never really thought about this, but I feel like this happened to me before and I really don't care because I'm like, oh, I have to remember. That'd be awesome to remember the app, but I'll say sometime it doesn't remember. So most time it does, but I don't constantly try to test that, but I know it happens to me. And you can do this by rotating, putting FOMO, rotating back and forth, or turn off the screen, turn it on. Is always there. I'll say most time it's there, but sometimes it's not. So yeah. So that's, and then you can do the same thing with the pressing the screen on and off. That's all the thing I can remember. Issues or quirks or features that I've experienced in the last 2.5 months. So hopefully that'll help. I mean, even with all this, I don't think any of those things are showstoppers. I think the biggest thing that to me is showstopper is when I have to press the power button hard, 10 seconds to reset. That's annoying, man. That's like, I hate that. But if the fix is just close it, open it, and unlock it again, I'm okay with it. It doesn't happen all the time. If it happens all the time, every hour, then I'll be pissed. I'll be returning this, right? So it's not as, even with all the bug I mentioned, it's not a constant thing. It's not like every day you encounter this thing or every hour. Then I'll be annoying. Maybe you encounter it once a week or once every 2 weeks. But I did encounter all this stuff. So has it have the software improvement? I only got 3. I got in May. I got May, June, July update. I don't maybe improve a little bit. I think the rotation screen on and off improved a little bit, but I don't see it's always get a little bit better. It's not like I guess I wasn't there from the very beginning where I heard it was really bad, so I can't tell. But it was okay when I got it. I think I got like 5 or 6 updates when I first got it new in May. So, but I still love it. So it's pretty cool. So I think that's the end of the video. Bye, guys.